My research interests and my professional interests are undoubtedly shaped by my dear old dad here. However, maybe not in the way most people would expect. My dad's interest has been really on the outside in, the face, sometimes the body. How do we understand emotions from what's going on externally for people?
From what we can see.
From what we can see. And my passion has been emotions from the inside out. How do we feel about them? How do we experience them? How do we unpack them in a way that gives us some insight to our prior experiences, as well as what we share with all humans? So that, I would say, is some of the differences, but also some of the ways I came into this work.
I've had an abiding distrust for what people tell you about themselves. And instead, my interest has been in how they behave. And trying to look at that closely, more closely than the person who's behaving is looking at themselves. We don't see ourselves.
You were saying that you really only trust behavior, but this idea of observing behavior was something that you imparted on me very early in my career, and which unfortunately is not very common. It's really only the realm these days of sociologists and anthropologists. Otherwise, we use machines and physiology.
And questionnaires.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think of what psychology might be if psychologists couldn't use questionnaires. I mean, it's interesting to know what people think about themselves, but that's not equivalent to what they actually do or what others think of them. And
it's a good question, because I do think that when people are describing emotional experiences, their subjective experience is pretty important. It's not everything, but it's important.
It's by far not everything. It goes through a lot of filters, which are important to understand. And but I start, or this leads me into the other area of my interest. There isn't necessarily convincing evidence that when you ask people a question, they're going to give you a truthful answer. Of course, a lot of what we believe about ourselves influences what we do and how we behave, and we're totally unaware of it.
Yeah, I think I give people more credit. I believe that you can train them to be very good, as Alan Wallace would put it, first-person introspectors.
Well, yeah, you use the word train them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't come that way.
They don't come that way.
Yeah, and not everybody is very trainable.
But training people in emotional awareness, you serve two purposes. You both make them better for giving you some of the data that's important, as well as giving them a sense of how to understand their own emotional lives.
You know, we haven't answered her question.
We kind of did.
The
But we've gone on a long time.